essentially, we're a revolutionary fuel cell manufacturer. So we strongly believe in the hydrogen economy and the fact that that can empower renewable energy. So the idea of being able to store green electrons from wind and solar into an energy vector such as hydrogen that can be moved around and used wherever we need to. That can be used for power for stationary applications, all the way up for transportation for rail, marine, and planes. Now, for a long time, we always wondered what was the issue with the industry and why we weren't really already doing this. And the issue really lays at the door of incumbent fuel cell tech. Fuel cell technology in general is quite complicated. It needs to be able to manage hydrogen in one side into a device that can then give you power out. But in that system, you have to manage temperatures, water, reactant distribution, all sorts of things. And consequently, you build factories that make these really complex things, and that whole process is quite expensive. At Bramble, we decided, what if we revolutionize that in the same way that Apple sort of revolutionized how you make a phone or a laptop?
I'd say that we were quite lucky when we first started because we had two of the biggest academics in the fuel cell space working alongside us. What that enabled us to do is unlock quite useful commercial relationships with people that they had encountered throughout their careers. So we had people in our ear about this is what people want to see in the fuel cell industry as you scale. Obviously, you might not be able to achieve that in the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, but have your eye on that and show that you're working towards that. So when I joined, we were still pressing our own MEAs in a lab in London, and now we're at a scale where we do what we say we're going to do and subcontract manufacture at printed circuit board factories. That process wasn't facile. It took a lot of face-to-face time with these guys working on the assembly line. And we achieved that. And now it's, as Vidal says, it's, unlocking the larger markets, getting everything to work. And with the team that we've built now, we have an extraordinary amount of resource, which in terms of people, which we didn't have access to just 12 months ago.
I don't know what I'd do differently, but I would say you don't learn this much about yourself in a year unless you're doing something really difficult. But it's worth it, right? Everything that we're doing is worth it because we see that the change that we're bringing the change we're bringing to net zero and to the world it's urgent, and we're pushing really hard to make it happen. And I guess the message I'd give to myself if I could go back, and I think there's the sort of question you're alluding to, is stick with it, right? And there are definitely moments of really sticky, hard stuff and frustration, rip your hair out moments, but stick with it. You'll find a solution in the end. The clean tech space in general is going in the right direction. It's only going to get bigger because we have to sort out. We have a climate crisis. It's as simple as that. We have to sort that out, and you can't do that with using what we currently do to generate electricity, current electricity generation technologies. So we've got to get rid of the diesels and the petrols. In some places, there's going to be fuel cells will take the place of anywhere you can have a diesel engine, for example, whether it's what you use in a festival to have your lights or power your stages as a diesel backup generator. We can do that with fuel cells. But we can also drive your car, or we can power your lights.
We never really sit on our laurels when we get those victories, right? We've done a very small part of a very big problem. So we always have our view to the future towards scaling up, towards the challenges that might come up as a result of this success. And it's a never-ending cycle, but it's a cycle that I'm really happy to be doing.